Going on, guys? I got another NU battle here versus a friend of mine who's actually new to never used battling. He's more of an overused battler. But yeah, he leads off with a Persian, and I lead off with my pool party. And like the typical Persian, he goes for fake out, and I flinch, of course. And the reason I sped him is because I have a scarf on this Typhlosion, and it's pro like that. And yeah, he sends out his Nido Queen, and there isn't really anything I can do, so I return pool party and I go into my tampon. This match is it's really laggy considering this computer is ancient, so please look by, like, right through the lag if you can. But yeah, so my guy's just soaking up the special attacks like a tampon's supposed to do, and I go for the psychic, and here's that pro lag, just like teabagging the ground for the leftovers, and I got my lefties, and at this point I know he's gonna switch, so I just go for a wish. And he sends out a Glaceon, and this Glaceon was actually it was EV trained rather well, and it is a pretty big threat. So I bring my tampon back, and I go back into pool party, and he gets an Ice Beam off, and I get friggin' freeze haxed, and I'm like, what the fuck? Luckily my wish came true, which kept me alive while I was frozen. And I don't understand how friggin' pool party could have been frozen. Like, I mean, he's got friggin' fire on all over the place. It's retarded. But anyway, I survive with 17 HP, which is fucking cool and stuff, and I just kill him with a fire blast. First one missed, but doesn't matter because this Glaceon is still dead. At this point, he sends out his Muck, and I just go for a Fire Blast, trying to get some damage off, because there's really no point in switching. And even though he's a special wall, it doesn't really matter. It still gets more than half off, which is good. And as I said before, just look through this lag. It's pretty retarded, but I did my best to try to, like, void it out. But yeah, I send out Split Ends, and he goes for a Shadow Sneak, and it doesn't really bother me much, but I do misclick here like a retard, and I hit Trick instead of Psychic, and that just rapes, well, it doesn't really rape me, but it does give him an extra turn to do damage. So I go back because I know he's going to try to Shadow Sneak again, and I send out my Donkey Kong, and Shadow Sneak doesn't affect him. So I know he's going to go for a Brick Break, but for the lulz I just went and Giga Impacted because I'm cool and stuff. And Muck's so fat he lags the game, but that's fine. So I go for Giga Impact, and it just fucks everything up because it's cool and stuff. Because Choice Band, I think it's like 120 physical attack for the power of that shit. And because of Stab, and because my guy is like 460 plus attack. And yeah, I go for a Giga Impact, but it somehow misses, so I'm like, okay, it's kind of gay. So I just stay in here because there isn't really anything. Oh, no, I'm a retard. Okay, so I switch into Split Ends. And, don't know what the hell. Oh, yeah, okay, I finished this piece of shit off with Psychic. Yeah, so now that Nido Queen's just, it's dead, which is good. And he sends out friggin' Regice, who, has like the most ridiculous special defense stat, and he goes for an Ice Beam. And that really fucks up my tampon. Like, it gets a wish off before it gets fucked over, but unfortunately it does die. And I send up my Donkey Kong again just to get the wish. And I go for a Giga Impact, and I'm like, bitch, that was for tampon. But yeah, then tampon gets his death wish back. And yeah, Slacking gets full health because of it, which is pretty amazing. And he sends out a Probo Pass. Looks like a gym teacher at my school, Mr. Nobes. Yeah, he goes for an Earth Power, and it was just skipping frames like crazy. So I just did my best to speed it up, which would explain that part right there. But yeah, I can't really do anything to this guy with the pro stash, so I go into split ends, trying to get a trick off so that I can screw it over. But Mr. Nobes over here, he's not digging that, so he goes for a Toxic. And yeah, so he gets the Toxic off, and the Synchronize won't do anything because he's a Steel type. But yeah, I switch my choice specs onto his Mr. Nobes, and I just left in my guy for fodder because I really couldn't do anything. So I send out Uggo Fuggo just to like flat chest him because now he can't do shit. And Uggo Fuggo just slowly but surely takes him out with Earthquake. And at this point, there isn't really much he can do. Like, and I can't even switch because of Probo Pass's ability. So even if I wanted to like let him kill some more people before I finish him off, I couldn't. But yeah, I finish him off with the Earthquake, and that's game. So, oh yeah, my pro computer had to restart for an update. So yeah, good game, and this is a Pokemon that I couldn't use my Cunt Clown